This is Felicia Temple, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hi, I'm urban Christian artist Kayla James, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
This is Atina, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is your boy Easeman. You're listening to iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from around the world.
Ready for Rapsalute? We're the #1 hip-hop show in the T-Dot, airing every Monday from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. on iliveradio.com with your host Amber, alongside DJ Shortcut, Chino, Dean, and Caesar Swift on the ones and twos, representing the culture, the lifestyle, the music, and the DJs.
Hey, peace and blessings. This is Lucia D inviting you to join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. for Honey Drop here on iLive Radio. Journey with me each week as I spin the latest international sounds in new soul, R&B, hip-hop, and a little taste of everything in between. Every show features independent producers from across the globe in the beats beneath, and the 10 sweetest vibes of the week smooth out the night in the 10 Drop. Honey Drop, each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on iLive Radio, serving up audible treats like honey, always with a heavy beat drop.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity.
This is Miss Care keeping you connected with your iLive 5x5. Brought to you by iLive Music, sponsored by Independent Hype, and powered by The Hook Entertainment. Contribute to the conversation by using hashtag iLive 5x5.
For the latest and greatest in soul music and more, stay tuned to iLive Radio throughout the week.
Connect with our team at iliveradio.com or follow us at iLive Radio across social platforms.
Ray Hendricks, Slipping into Darkness on iLive Radio. It is my pleasure to welcome you each and every Wednesday between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. to Slipping into Darkness, my selection of sublime jazz and conversations with very special guests. Tune in each and every Wednesday between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. to Slipping into Darkness on iLive Radio. iLive Radio.
Hi, this is Miss Law. Tune in to Talks Honest every Sunday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on iLive UK, discussing topics often thought of but never spoken. That's Sundays, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on iLive UK.
Music back to back to back on iLive Radio.
Join me, Uncle Funky, at noon Eastern Standard Time every Saturday for our music show, Give Me the Night, here on iLive Radio, and enjoy a nooner like no.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation. Genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. Collective Music Nation. One voice. Strength in unity.
What's good? This is your girl, Drea Ivy, introducing my new show, Ivy Talks, the dopest podcast coming out of the beautiful city that is Miami, Florida, featuring the best artist interviews, covering the illest events in the city as we propel the culture to hip-hop and R&B. Make sure to check out Ivy Talks each and every Monday from 11 p.m. to midnight on iLive UK, changing the way you listen to radio. Let's talk.
Vibes and Vinyl is here every Friday live at 8 p.m. on iLiveRadio.com. Formerly of Toronto's FM radio airwaves, DJs Gene King and Ray Prasad are in the house once again to continue their tradition, promoting great house music to the world. You will hear exclusive releases and sometimes traveling back in time via some of the best disco, soul, funk, and house. So keep it locked and enjoy the ride. DJs Gene King and Ray Prasad have provided their listeners since 1996. Vibes and Vinyl in your face.
Ready to start your Saturday night? Tune in to the Beats and Bass Show here on iLive Radio with me, DJ Deep Sound. Delve into the sounds of 140 deep dubstep, drum and bass, house, and many genres. Spinning something different every week, featuring special guest DJs and artists. The Beats and Bass Show, weekly 2 to 4 p.m. UK time, here on iLive Radio. Be there or be square.
Hey, what's going on, everybody in cyberspace? This is the Groove Show with your boy, the crowd pleaser, DJ Mark Anthony. Don't forget, each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m., we want to put you in the mood for whatever the night has in store. I'm playing only the best feel-good, party rocking, body-shaking music from funk to soul to reggae to R&B, house to salsa, and much, much more. We call it the Groove each and every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked. It's the crowd pleaser, baby. You know how we do. We'll see you on the air. Peace.
Attention à tous les musiciens, groupes, associations, clubs et organisations qui représentent les styles collectifs de musique à travers le Canada. Le moment est venu de reconstruire nos genres de nations musicales collectives comme le hip-hop, le R&B, le jazz, le soul, le reggae, le gospel et plus unis. La Nation de la musique collective est une organisation à but non lucratif engagée dans le développement de la musique collective. Des adhésions gratuites sont disponibles dès maintenant. La Nation de la musique collective, une seule voix, la force dans l'unité.
Hey. Hello and welcome. It's your girl Claude, aka Miss Ouch, right here on iLive UK. Be sure to tune into my shows each and every Saturday between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. My shows are called The Independent Injection because you can expect to hear deep and meaningful, fresh neo and bassline soul, slow jams and gospel mixed with a little bit of nostalgia. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Hello and welcome to the promo for Always Digging. My name is Jeff Skull, aka DJ Scully Funk. Every Sunday afternoon, my partner Gary, aka DJ Gaza Taylor, and I choose a theme and play our favorite songs that fit that theme. Tune in right here every Sunday from noon to 2 on iLive Radio.
Attention à tous les musiciens, groupes, associations, clubs et organisations qui représentent les styles collectifs de musique à travers le Canada. Le moment est venu de reconstruire nos genres de nations musicales collectives comme le hip-hop, le R&B, le jazz, le soul, le reggae, le gospel et plus unis. La Nation de la musique collective est une organisation à but non lucratif engagée dans le développement de la musique collective. Des adhésions gratuites sont disponibles dès maintenant. La Nation de la musique collective, une seule voix, la force dans l'unité.
Every Friday, take a trip around the world with music from around the globe. Colors of Rhythm with your host DJ Ron John. Fridays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on iLive Radio, iLiveRadio.com.
This is Lightworks with V Swizzle. She's a hip-hop geek influenced by Dilla Beats. Tune into her show each and every Monday, 8 till 10 p.m. on iLive Radio UK, where the vibe is funky, chunky beats interwoven with lost funk hits for sound innovation. This is Lightworks with B Swizzle on iLive Radio UK.
Welcome to iLive Radio. Hi, I'm ODJ, your host from Amalgamation in Sound. Join me every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. where I'll bring you the very best in UK soul, house, broken beat, and everything in between. Remember to join in every Saturday, 6 to 8 p.m. for Amalgamation in Sound. See you there.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. The Collective Music Nation. One voice, strength in unity.
Hey, peace and blessings. This is Lucia D inviting you to join me each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. for Honey Drop here on iLive Radio. Journey with me each week as I spin the latest international sounds in new soul, R&B, hip-hop, and a little taste of everything in between. Every show features independent producers from across the globe in the beats beneath, and the 10 sweetest vibes of the week smooth out the night in the 10 drop. Honey Drop, each and every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on iLive Radio. Serving up audible treats like honey, always with a heavy beat drop.
What's up, London? This is the Ladies' Choice, DJ Mixmaster Caesar, coming to you straight from the 6 with the Red Planet Mix Show. Every Saturday, 10 p.m. until midnight, spinning in the best music in hip-hop, R&B, soca, reggae, and top 40, exclusively on iLive UK, changing the way you listen to radio.
Join the Music Collective family every Sunday for the Sunday Vibe from 12 till 4 on iLive Radio. For the best in quality music, special theme shows quarterly, and the infamous End of the Month show, when the Music Collective family get together for fun and frolics. So don't miss out on your Sunday Vibe on iLive Radio via the TuneIn app or the iLive mobile app. See you Sunday. Music Collective Sunday Vibe on iLive Radio.
Ready to start your Saturday night? Tune in to the Beats and Bass Show here on iLive Radio with me, DJ Deep Sound. Delve into the sounds of 140 deep dubstep, drum and bass, house, and many genres. Spinning something different every week, featuring special guest DJs and artists. The Beats and Bass Show, weekly 2 to 4 p.m. UK time, here on iLive Radio. Be there or be square.
Attention all musicians, bands, associations, clubs, and organizations that represent collective styles of music across Canada. Now is the time to rebuild our collective music nation. Genres like hip-hop, R&B, jazz, soul, reggae, gospel, and more united. The Collective Music Nation is a non-profit organization committed to the development of collective music. Free memberships are available now. Collective Music Nation. One voice. Strength in unity.
Greetings. Welcome everybody on iLiveRadio.com. It is Sunday. We are back with another exciting episode. It is your host, DJ Elegance. Really excited to be back here with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all the feedback, all the comments, all the energy surrounding the show. If you're new to the podcast, what we are all about is interviewing people from the music, club, corporate, and wedding industry, sharing best tips, sharing their knowledge, sharing their stories, sharing their journeys to inspire other event creatives, other artists. Maybe you're someone who's in the industry, you're looking to rebrand, you're looking to take your game to a different level. You're also maybe looking to switch midstream and do something a little bit different. Then what we're trying to do is archive conversations so that we can help uplift the event industry as a whole and really shed light on the passion, the work, the blood, sweat, and tears that so many professionals put into their craft. So we've been here now 3.5 months, and we just keep growing and growing. So we're really excited. Tonight on the podcast, I have a close friend, I guess a DJ mentor, someone that I've learned a lot from, and we are going to jump into the podcast. This evening, we have with us on the line DJ Golden Q. Golden Q, you there?
Hey, what's happening? Big things.
I'm good. I want to welcome you to the pod. Hold on a second here. Hold on. I want to give you a proper welcome. So
okay,
here we go.
Yes. With Golden DJ Q.
Yes.
You gotta put the gold in the front.
Hold on. Here we go.
Thank you.
There you go. So, I just want to dive, right into things. There's so many things I want to talk to you about. But before we do that, I guess, in general, how have you been? How have you been enduring the days of COVID?
COVID is another obstacle that I had to really jump over, especially with everybody who I helped out or who I even performed for. As you know, I am a full-time DJ, so it was a choice of do I give up and hang up the turntables, or do I continue? But with COVID happening and the need for music, I couldn't stop. So it's a very eventful time that I never thought that would happen, and it has happened. And so right now, I'm just finding new ways on how to keep motivated, and it's actually working. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It's been rough. It's been rough. It's definitely been rough. But
yeah.
Keep a smile on it, because at least I'm still breathing some air with
the
mask on.
No, I hear you. No, I think it's been something that everyone is kind of refiguring themselves out, right? And trying to figure out how they do it. So we're going to talk more about that. But, obviously we've gotten the opportunity of meeting each other probably around, 3 years ago now?
I would probably say, three and a half.
Yeah, I think maybe 3.5, maybe 4 years. 4 years ago.
No, maybe four actually. Could be, because I've been. Yeah,
I think it's around. I think this fall might be 4.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we've known each other for a little bit of time, and you've been someone who's really helped me out along the way, many aspects, which we'll jump into. But I guess it's weird. I feel like I know a lot about you from sort of when I met you, maybe a little bit early in those club days. But I'm just curious, for you, what made you want to become a DJ? I don't know if I really know that, right? So
I have a passion for music, but I have a guiltiness towards it that I kind of suck at remembering names and some lyrics towards music. But you remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Of course.
As everybody knows. So as our main guy, Jazzy Jeff, seeing him perform as a DJ was just wow, that's a cool Pokemon card at that time, right? It was just shocking. And then when I start because my whole family's all Jamaicans and stuff, the whole DJ aspect, we really call DJs just artists. Beanie Man is considered a DJ, or Bonte Killer is a DJ, but really they're just a selector. So growing up with that type of music, I was always into hearing music constantly. And then, do you remember the Morning Ride, 89.5?
Yeah.
Monday morning? Yeah, I used to, right before school, I always listened to that. But then there's that other station, WBLK, that you can hear down in Buffalo. Yeah, and that's when I heard other DJs. I was like, whoa, this is cool. And then the noise of the noise the record makes, the scratching noise?
Uh-huh.
It sounds like beautiful birds in my ear. It sounds like, hey, one day I would love to DJ. I started taking tape recorders and just putting two and two together. I used my mom's records, couldn't scratch it too much. That needle is really hard and is not made to scratch her Bobby Browns in Houston's. But yeah, it wasn't until my son, when I realized I was going to have a son, right, and be on my own about it, that I took my investment from OSAP, like I got OSAP, and you know how to give you some money for like books and living or whatever.
let me guess what happened.
Yeah. Well, I took that and I used some of my own money and I combined them all together and went to Barry's shop, System Music, and purchased, called DJ Play and asked him, hey, can you help me purchase some turntables? But that was after when I've been an MC, a light guy for DJ Griff. Like, I was already like knee deep into MCing promotions and doing birthday parties.
Okay. And so, I mean, you know, for the listeners and stuff, they're gonna get to know you and stuff like that. I've seen you play. Yeah, you know, your love of music definitely shines through. Just always dancing. I think you're someone who whenever maybe I'm a bit grumpy or just overthinking, I kind of think, what would Golden DJ Q be doing? He'd be dancing as he's playing, and I'm like, I need to lighten up a little bit and just kind of get into the rhythm a bit and bounce and jump around a little bit. And then I think of, you know, our homie Chela Soul. He'll always be. I always remember him saying, "Hey, when you hear other DJs play, just have like an open mind, right, and just drink things in." But for yourself, in terms of developing your own style, I want to pick your brain a little bit more about this because I want the listeners to really get to know other elements of who you are. But when did you know that you had some talent? Like, when was that? When did that kind of become apparent to you? When did the light bulb go on that maybe I can do this? I mean, you're saying you do it full time. So when did that light bulb hit where you were like, hey, I have some talent. I'm pretty good. Like, what were the circumstances that maybe led to that kind of revelation? Was it at an event? Was it somebody who said something to you? Like, I'm just curious.
A combination of both. So when my first initial DJ, which I call it, like, you know, the first gig that you get paid, I was scared. You know, I emceed for everybody who was there. I was scared. All I did was I played one song. I had all my turntables set up and everything. I played one song, got scared, walked away. I had my other homie, DJ Q, right? He was performing, Super Natty. He was performing, and there's another guy. It was on top of my head, but he's an MC as well. If he's listening, he's gonna be like, "Come on, you gotta remember me." But yeah, he's from Montreal. But that was my first gig, and that would have been in the place that used to be called the Bald Monkey. I think it was called Passions at that time or something like that.
Okay.
And then my first original gig that I did on my own was at Leroy upstairs, right? Where Marlon Mack was the one who was sitting there, and he was listening to everything I was doing. Now, I didn't know who the person was. He was just standing in the corner. But the crazy part was when I started realizing that I might have talent was the second time I went there, because DJ players say, "Nah, man, you're ready. Just go do it." Because when I bought the turntables, I DJ for a whole week without sleep on my dresser, and then DJ player came over. And he's like, "Hey, you're ready." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not ready." He's like, "This is not the sound that people want to hear." He's like, "No, you're ready. You have something that the other DJs don't have, and trust me, people will catch on." I'm like, "Okay." And then it came to the second time on my performance where I noticed that there's the people who came upstairs didn't want to leave.
Okay.
Because they were enjoying themselves. But it was Banshee where I was at, where at that time I had the IBM laptop, so I was using the school laptop, and the hard drive started acting up, and I was just like, okay, I gotta use music that I enjoy. So I started playing like newer, like different types of music, like certain remixes, dubstep remixes, these different classic house. I was just making these remixes and stuff like that, and the people took to it, which was shocking, especially for a town that doesn't cater to that type of music until later on. So I was really, really like shocked. And because I was already in school taking accounting in UIT and Durham College, I was already on my own, but that was supposed to be my first career. So making this second career kind of just transitioned to my first one, especially being in school for 5 years. I was just like, okay, you know what? Yeah, the DJ thing is gonna last longer than than me sitting behind a desk counting numbers. I was like, I probably get fired from my own firm for not staying still.
No, that's funny.
But like you said, there's when I perform, there's a massive passion. It feels like I'm in a different. I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe you could probably help me with a few big words to put that in.
Well, I think like if I were to chime in, I think for myself playing, the only thing I can mirror the sort of pre-event jitters, the pre-dance jitters, what should I play, how will the crowd respond to me? The only thing I can compare it to for myself personally is football, which I played very competitively from a very young age till now. I think that's the only thing that I feel has replaced that feeling of excitement, enthusiasm, anxiety, all these emotions. And then as you're delivering the music to the audience and seeing them respond, it just kind of just gets you really excited. Like there's just this really interesting exchange that I'm not sure if listeners understand that happens as to like, how can you DJ such a long set? Well, it's like, I'm not just sort of playing music for myself. Like I'm playing tracks that I'm hoping, wishing, or I know the audience is going to respond to. And when I see them responding, that's what kind of drives me to keep finding more songs to kind of keep that vibe, right? So that's kind of how I kind of express it. But yeah,
because even if the crowd's stiff, I like to focus on because as a DJ, as you know, you're a body reader, you're a body language reader,
yes,
almost a professional body language reader, and watching from them like lip syncing to some words, not overexcited, just conservative. From them tapping their feet just a bit, moving their shoulders just a bit, even their walk. If their walk is going towards the beat, you got them, and then you just keep pushing forward because eventually, it's almost like a little puppy. You see a puppy, you're gonna love it, and if the DJ has a passion of what he's doing, you're gonna love it too.
No, absolutely. So let's move forward here quickly. So I know that I mean, it's a great story. Obviously, it must have been so gratifying, kind of seeing how people responded to you. And I know you mentioned one DJ earlier that kind of maybe drew you into DJing, or you saw what they were doing and you got a little bit enamored. I'm just curious, were there any other DJ influences that kind of impacted you?
All local.
Okay, talk to us about a few.
Every DJ that influenced me is all local. So starting with the first ever DJ who really influenced me is DJ Griff. That's the first DJ I ever worked with, and that was in Whitby at Heat nightclub. Oh, sorry, Liquid. At that time it was called Liquid, and that was in Whitby. First ever DJ I ever worked with. We're upstairs, up in the balcony. He's right beside me. I'm doing the late show, but it was a film director that introduced me to him. Gave him a call and said, "Hey, I have this bright guy. He's really into it." I was just 19, just turned 19, and he's gonna be there. I was there early. I was always there early, too early. I was there at the same time the DJ is setting up, sometimes even before that. So I don't get no commotion. So DJ Gibbs started off. After that, it started to evolve to seeing that when I met Spence Diamonds, Devo Brown as the MC. Then then after that, Marky D I saw. And then Super Night, then DJ J. Then as I was working the Big Sexy, that's when I started becoming an MC, right? And then when I started becoming an MC, that's when I met Chris. And he came up to the booth. I'm like, "Hey man, what's happening?" And who would have knew that would have been my best friend for life?
Okay, Mr. Player.
Right? Yeah.
Well, let me.
At that time I had a fro that we could have messed with.
Oh my goodness! Ladies. It's funny because the photo for all the listeners out there, if you go to the podcast page, Music is Everything podcast on IG, I'll be honest with you, that photo now of you, with the bald head and everything, you kind of look like Flo Rida in that pic. I'm pretty sure you may have got that a few times.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, but DJ Player was just starting, and then it came to me visiting Devastation Sound Crew with DJ Anton and them. Then when I started initially DJing, after I met a whole bunch of DJs through just me emceeing, right? And we could keep going down further, even M Square. So those are the dubstep rave DJs that I used to do. Yeah, there's a lot. But let's jump forward to that because I'm having a little brain fart some other DJs, but those are the local ones.
No, that's big. I don't think a lot of local artists get a lot of that mentioned sometimes,
they're my
right?
favorite. The local DJs are my biggest inspiration instead of the iconic ones. And the iconic ones didn't make a bigger impact to me until much later in life when they start showcasing equipment. But then after that, Marlon Mack is the one who really got me into understanding more about corporate, right? And then followed by, listening to DJ Stovio, that was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. And then D Money, KW, and some of these guys are the people I work with. Mixmaster Caesar, oh man, DJ Elegance. I remember. Oh man. Is D something? Dan Lord, yeah. D-Lo. Then we had then I met a few female DJs, right? Sarah B. Then we have Brittany. But the people who really pushed me to continue, we have Ritz. Like hearing Ritz and realizing Ritz was actually the guy I listened to on WBLK. Couldn't believe it. Thought it was a black guy the whole time that was talking. I had no clue that was Ritz. It was a deep voice like that, right?
That's funny.
Oh man, but yeah, Chris has pushed me. DJ Play has pushed me the furthest, and then when I started gaining students on who I teach, they started helping me push even further, and then I started realizing like what type of style I need to have. That's when I started meeting DJs who has a style to them, like the Smooth Operator, DJ Frisco, J.R. Soul. Like those guys they're like surgeons on the record when they're performing. It's like, whoa, Tommy Thompson. Oh man, I just never thought something like that. And then when you go into like party DJs, like people who just threw down a party, it was always up to date with the newest stuff. That would be the Whitburn crew, DJ Mills, DJ Q, Big J Sniper. Those guys are the guys I like to hang around with a lot. They were the DJ crew the whole time. They've always been running like that. But there were the jam session. Like if you're gonna throw a basement party, those guys always had the brand new stuff that people just couldn't believe that wasn't in the club yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate that. It's like a long laundry list of.
I know I'm missing a few others
of DJs. No, I mean it's great. So I mean for all the people that are listening, you know, when the replay becomes available on the iLive Radio podcast, you can go back and check out some of these DJs because I think a lot of times local DJs don't get the shine that they should. And I also think that
they definitely need to shine.
Yeah, and I also think that there's a lot that you can learn. I know that there's a famous quote by Tony Robbins. He always says, "Success leaves footprints." So we live in a day and age now. I mean, over the last 3-4 months, there's been a lot of DJs who've been listening to the podcast saying certain podcasts have been inspiring or they learned a lot of things. And I think if you're a DJ, you're a new DJ, you're an up and coming DJ, or you're a DJ who's been in the field a long time, start following other DJs to see what they're doing because people are, especially now, really attacking how they do their craft much differently, right? So
that's very true.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of switch gears for a second and talk a little bit more. I mean, so many DJs and kind of talk about the other hat that you wear as a DJ, coach, and a trainer. So I'm kind of curious as to how this came about. And the reason why I'm curious about it is because I know that sometimes not all amazing athletes, musicians, artists, actors, actresses whatever it is, they're not always good teachers. So like they may be amazing, but them as a coach, they're not so good. So I'm just curious, like how did you start becoming sort of like a DJ coach and a trainer? How'd that come about?
So the way how this started was my first year of still learning to DJ as like being an official DJ and working. Vinci Prince, right? Who I met. I met him through how did I met him? I think it was just through clubbing and stuff, and he took a liking to on how I was mixing and stuff. So I showed him like how to DJ, but he already had the basics down, so it was pretty easy. But I was the first one to give him his first gig at Banshee as like a full gig, like don't open for me. He's like, here, DJ, you got this. And he's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, do the whole thing. You got this. And when after seeing what he was capable of doing, I was like, oh, wow, I was successful, and he was happy. Because sometimes like people get like when you teach someone, you get scared if they're able to do it. And when I realized like it was pretty easy to kind of teach, I was like, hey, maybe I should take more interest into how I could teach others. So I'll be more open to telling people like what I found, because my teaching is based on this learning experience from me hanging around with other DJs and seeing what troubleshooting they have like went through. Because I'm telling you right now, for everyone that's listening, DJs are 24/7 master of troubleshooting on the spot. Like on the spot, but it's the best like learning experience that you could ever listen to. Follow. But as for my hat for becoming a teacher, it all started with just somebody just asking, hey, would you be able to teach me how to DJ? I'm like, yeah. And I used to hold DJ sessions in my house, almost like people going golfing. And the more DJ sessions I was having with actual DJs, but I was pushing them to push their own envelope to overtake me. So that's when I came to realize that like the more people I teach, the better I could become, because their duty is to get better than me. My duty is to try to make it as difficult as possible. So the more we teach, the more we train each other, the more talent I could push out of a person, and the more passion they can have for music. But if they can't make it, then they know their limits, right?
Right. That's awesome. There's a few other questions I want to ask you around that. I'm curious. You mentioned like troubleshooting, so I'm curious, like what's like the worst thing that's happened to you at a gig that you had to troubleshoot?
Oh, Microsoft.
Oh, Microsoft.
Microsoft is probably the worst thing that has ever happened to me, right? As I was performing in Banshee, and it happened on another club as well too, Microsoft randomly decided that it needed to update itself.
Oh, wow.
Even though it hasn't seen the internet for more than a month, it decided to update itself, right? And then on top of that, when it started to update itself, the hard drive power plug, the connector, the USB connector that's inside, the soldering broke apart. So I had no hard drive either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm kind of known as like if bad luck hits, I get the worst bad luck on the planet. So I normally just laugh more about it as much as I can, because like, it's just another day.
Oh, that's
but
crazy.
Yeah, so just think of it, DJ Elegance. Your computer just stops, goes to blue, and then it's like 1 out of 36 updating. Right in front of everybody. Then on top of that, the computer, after you're talking on a mic, because I was an MC first, I talk a lot of stuff on a mic and stuff like that. I didn't have an auxiliary cord either. I was just making jokes here and there, talking and flirting with all the customers. I was there helping the drinks keep getting poured. And then you plug it in, and the hard drive is not responding. Just to look that the hard drive is busted, because I had a screwdriver. I unscrewed and looked. The soldering came off, so it wouldn't stay on there properly if I like put tape on it.
Oh my gosh, this sounds crazy.
Oh yeah,
this sounds so crazy.
But you know what? So at that moment, I didn't have any more music. But I had music that I personally downloaded that I didn't think will work for that type of bar, but I did it. I told everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to DJ something on music that I like to listen to. So hold on your seatbelt and let's do this. Thank goodness it was 12 and people were already like been drinking, and it actually turned out really well. From all the remixes and dubstep and some remixes of hip hop and certain trap music that I was playing, it came up flawlessly. It was actually really good.
Right.
So I have to pay for another bill for another hard drive, right?
Wow. So from your standpoint, I can't even imagine being in that position. I've been in some pretty sticky situations as well, but not too time consuming. So I couldn't imagine my computer doing 36 updates and then I'm just talking, right?
And beatboxing. So lucky there was a rapper there, and I say, hey, you want to freestyle? I beatbox, and we were doing it for a good amount of minutes while the reboot of the computer. Well, that was going on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure you had to get mad creative, right? So, so here's another question I want to ask you. So, because I get asked this a lot, right? Like, because you not only are a DJ coach, right? Mm-hmm. And you kind of train guys as well. So, like, how does one develop their DJ style? Like, how does one stand out? Like, what's some advice that you may give people you've worked with, or maybe for some of the listeners? Like,
oh yeah, easy. Start off with something that you enjoy. If you own a club, and you and your audience is people that's exactly of you sitting in the club. So this picture of you all over the place. What would you perform for your own self? Start off with that. Then see if you could upgrade or advance what you've done with yourself. What else could you impress yourself? After you find the fundamentals on how to upgrade your own sound, try different new tricks. Now change the music, because when it boils down to it, the place that you're performing at is based on that's the music that you're gonna pick. But if you have the fundamentals on what you could perform with, all it takes is for a nice, good listening ear of the beats that you're familiar with, that you know how to manipulate, and find the respective songs in the different genre that you have to perform with, and then you'll see that you can apply the same fundamentals that you just learned onto, like, let's say, house or classic rock, right?
Right.
Before they catch on that you don't know too much about that genre. And yeah, always start off with what you enjoy, because the whole purpose of being a DJ is to perform on how you enjoy.
Right.
Performing, right? It's enjoyment of music.
Okay. So how can, we're in a really tricky time now, right? I mean, there's tricky. Obviously not a lot of DJs we're out doing events. The industry is really in a pause. I mean, for anyone listening right now, this is the Music is Everything podcast. We're live with Golden DJ Q, Toronto area DJ, and he's sharing some things around who he is, what he does. If you're listening and you're on the outside, I know there's many people in the iLive Radio community. Here in Toronto, we're in stage 2 of COVID, which means that unfortunately we've actually rolled back to bars, restaurants, gyms, theaters, a lot of other places of business that have actually closed. We were in stage 3, which had some things open, but now we've gone back the other way. So I know that there's some DJs that are doing stuff online. I'm seeing a lot more DJs getting hired by different sort of corporate entities to do a variety of different gigs, albeit all online. But maybe for some DJs who aren't even doing that, they're just kind of chilling out or whatever. Like, what advice would you give them, like in terms of tips, strategies for them to be able to improve, right? Like, how could a DJ, but also like not just beginner, even intermediate or more advanced, like what would be maybe your advice or tips on how can a DJ at any level improve? What would be some things that you could share?
Okay, I have one thing I can share is utilize this time that we have off. We will get back into things becoming more close to the norm. There's some DJs who have good internet and they're able to perform online and stuff. And then there's other ones that's like who's so advanced, but can't perform online, who are not doing it. Utilize your time on fixing your library, perfecting your style, making mixtapes online. If you've already been doing that, which I believe every DJ should be making a mixtape no matter what, you don't have to go online because, as you know, most social media, they don't even allow you to stay online that long enough before they shut you down. But utilize your time. Every DJ, and I know all the DJs out there right now, you guys, the hardest part is organizing our libraries. We have the biggest struggle because we don't have that time. This is the time to do your research, make new crates, new folders, things that will go with, make a hot folder, make a folder that works with different genres if you're there, and put your hard drive on a diet. I know we all carry a couple doubles, the songs that we probably would never, ever, ever play for the rest of our life. Go put your hard drive on a diet and utilize the time on perfecting your library. Your library is your key source on how to on your performance, and if it's not up to par, you're just gonna fall into the same space as from the time when we talked. I call it the DJ brain fart, when you just like, what should I play next? This time, with this time that we have off, you would know what to play next. There'd be no more brain fart, and there'd be a lot of trial and error that you could use because your folders and your crates are fully organized.
Right. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. No, I think those are amazing tips, right?
Yeah.
So let's move on to sort of this other hat that you wear. I know in past and even still currently, obviously how we met is that you know what I mean? You would book different talent, right?
Yep.
And book DJs for different venues, bars, weddings, private events, all that kind of stuff. So I'm curious, what makes a DJ sort of booking worthy? Like, how would you know that this is a guy or girl that you could send out to a certain type of gig? Like, how would you know that they're ready for the job? What would be some things that would maybe jump out to you to say they're ready?
For me, so basically, if I'm scouting for a DJ, I like to see if I can find them and listen to them.
Yeah.
if I can find them. Most people already know who I am or much of it, but when I show up, they don't recognize my face, so I'll sit there and just listen, right? I know DJ Marmac did the same thing to me. He's a scholar too, a really good scholar, and one of the things is like the listening is just to listen to the DJ, but to find out if they're worthy enough to perform in a wedding. When I was a manager for bowl production and different DJs entertainment stores, right? I still DJ for both right now. My interview was really important with them, and that was my understanding. The interview is what's the question? There's a special question I asked them. Maybe you might remember. It was mostly about the enjoyment of music, and people because when you're performing a wedding, it's really customer service, right?
Right.
And then after that is this talent, because if you're a hothead, it's not going to work.
Right.
Especially if you're going to get some bridezilla, right?
Yeah, I know that we've had a number of different DJs on, and I know Michael Coombs, who does a lot of weddings and does some really high-end events. He would always say that you have to kind of get used to the idea that you're not the star of the show. You're the next star, the bride and the groom are the next.
Yeah, you're the next star. Even though the bride and groom is there, the next person there is really you.
Yeah.
Even though we're not in everybody's pictures when it comes to the wedding pictures, without the DJ, there's no wedding.
Yeah,
it's simple
exactly.
as that.
Exactly.
Right. But the biggest thing, it was if. Oh, he's gonna come back to me. You gotta ask you. You have to talk for a little bit.
Well, I'll ask you another question while this thought comes back to you.
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, okay.
So when I started running Golden DJs Enterprise, my own personal company for DJs, DJing in the bars or for other organizations and stuff, I always ask the DJ, "Are you willing to learn more? Like, can you learn more?" There's a couple of DJs I have encountered that are very stubborn. They won't take anything I say to them. So I just can't trust it, because dirty habits leads to bad habits. And if they know that I have a lot of bars, or I give out lots of gigs, right? But they don't have that much, but they want me to take their advice, I'm not going to really listen to somebody who doesn't have the same amount of gigs that I do. I have an overflow of gigs that I like to give, and all I ask is like, hey, if you could just listen real quick. It's not an advice or anything. If you could listen to this little part on what I expect, then you're good. It's not even that strict. I always tell people, play exactly how you feel the crowd wants to hear, and exactly how you want to play, and enjoy it.
Right.
I'll fluff out all the whole money part, what's going to be next, and I'll be there for you. But all I ask is just for you to listen. If there needs to be a change, I will come to you, because as a DJ, I'm going to protect the DJ first before I tell the DJ, hey, you're doing bad.
Right.
I always give a second chance, right? And the biggest thing is some owners don't give us that second chance. They just say, this is not working for us, so you got to go. And I experienced that. It sucks.
Right. No, I think that's a thing. So, I mean, that was actually going to be my next question was like, what do you look for in a DJ when you're looking to book them? I heard someone who's willing to listen. Would there be some other things that you feel would be important?
Oh, actually willing to work. Yeah. Willing to work. If you ask for a gig, hey, I could throw some gigs at you. Just be willing to work, Mm-hmm. That's it. And if you're not able to, then that's cool. Just don't cancel that on me. Unless it's beyond important, but do your absolute best not to cancel on it. And I go by from my own experience that from what I struggled with on just making my way to DJ events. Like I took the Go Bus, and I was raising a son by myself who's an infant child and going to school. I still made it to my gigs, but I don't share that with anybody, because that was my personal struggle. It might be much larger than anybody else if you're to weigh the balance. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter. Everybody has their own what they're able to take, right?
Right.
So if you feel like you don't have the confidence to do it, let me know, because I'll build your confidence so you can go there and perform, and you'll be happy to perform, because it's like a release when you perform as a DJ.
No, absolutely. No, it's music is about vibration, and it's stimulating the brain, and there's so many things even physiologically that impact you. And I think, for us, I don't know about you, but for me, after playing a set, sometimes I'm like, praise God, I was able to provide a great time for everyone else. But then I'm like, I had such a good time watching everyone else. But then I'm like, even though the gig is done now, I want to party because I'm in such a good mood, right? I'm like, where can I party? I want everyone to hang around. Let's go party now, right? So, no, that's awesome things. So during this time, I know you mentioned if people aren't online, doing a Twitch, doing a Mixcloud. For everyone on the outside, iliveradio.com, this Music is Everything podcast. We're with Golden DJ Q. He's the owner operator of Golden DJ Q Enterprises, and he's talent. He's a DJ coach. He books different talent, and he has a lot of things under his hat. But for some of us, they're maybe a bit stagnant. We're not really doing a whole lot right now, and he's shared some tips on how we can remain busy. For the DJs out there, working on your library, working on a number of other things. So I'm curious, how can a DJ grow their brand? Like, what would be some other things that you think would be helpful? With this downtime, what what could people do? I know that there may be a desire that, hey, we're in COVID, don't bother doing anything. But people are still looking for DJs, right? There's still events next year that people are hopeful will go through. So, like, how does a DJ how can one grow their brand?
So the best way to grow your band is every DJ, right, has a goal. Each one of them has a goal that they say, oh, I have to, in order for me to do this, I need to make a business card, or I need to design a website, or I need to push up more music, like mixes. Like every DJ on earth has something that they wanted to improve, but they were just too busy to improve it. Take the time now to do it.
Right.
You want to improve. If you want to improve your brand, like if you don't have a business card, get one made. This is the time to get one made. Make it yourself. Now you don't have to pay because you have the time. Make it yourself and teach it. And if you don't know how to do it, teach yourself or go on YouTube. Right. Mm-hmm. Websites, very important. Make your own websites and stuff like that if you can. You have the time. You don't really have to pay someone to help you make a website. Just do it on your own. If you and you'll see that you'll be making your brand. The whole part of making your brand is how could you get your name out there? Well, figure out what you were slacking. If you're and those stuff that you were slacking is stuff that you kept telling yourself, hey man, I was gonna make an app for smartphones, or I was gonna make a website, or I was gonna go on Apple Podcasts, or what's the other one? Google Play, which I'm on, right? And Spotify, I'm on that too. So like, you know, if there's things that you say, hey, this is what I was going to do, this is the time to do it. We have the time, because when we get out of this lockdown and hopefully we go back to somewhat of a norm, everyone's going to be requesting DJs, because we're going to have the biggest world party on the planet. And all the DJs out there, you just can't be playing some stuff that's not up to par. So get familiar with following social media. You want to get up to date and know what's the latest? Go on social media. We got the TikTok, we got the Instagram, we got the Facebook. Watch everybody's stories. Listen to every song that they're playing. All those 15-second songs. Find a long version and make sure you build a crate. Utilize your time. Study. This is the time. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you can build up your brand. Because if someone say, "Hey, can you DJ this?" they're going to tell you that all your music is old because you wasn't listening to the social media world.
No, it's. I think it's important. It's a good point. I know that I have a friend who's religiously on TikTok and would share with me how, this is like a big time track, and I'm like, really? And so I was just trying to draw those. Like just being connected to like lots of different people, different age ranges, just to be able to soak in what's buzzing for different populations, right? Like different demographics.
That's
I think
correct.
is
like
important.
The artist is doing the same thing, because remember, DJs are just like artists, right? The artists are doing the same thing. You know, the popular song of TikTok, Jeremiah did a full version of it. You know, Tyga did another version of another song. Like these songs that everybody is using that has like a snippet or something like that, the person someone made it, and a famous artist who's watching on it hopped on a bandwagon and made it bigger and better.
Right.
So as DJs, you got to do the same thing. Take the artist stuff and everything, make it bigger and better. Add it to a mix that you're performing with, right?
No, absolutely. No, it's. I think you just look for ways to stay creative, right? So, yeah. So I want to ask you another question, sort of around networking. And I'll give you about. I'm kind of puzzled because at the top of the hour here, we're going to have a quick commercial break. But
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you can kind of talk a little bit about how does one network? Like, what's an effective way for a DJ to network, especially during this time?
Well, during this time, there is still groups out there who are still networking right now. Like they have group meetings over Zoom or even over your average phone call, right? But networking really goes into what you need to do currently, as in keeping relevant. right? So if you see a lot of DJs, if you're able to see a DJ right now, then that means you kind of need to be doing almost the same thing as what he's doing. Doesn't matter what internet network you're on, right? Because there's a lot of them starting to come develop right now. You just need to follow. If you're able to see a DJ right now and he's doing something where he's captivating an audience, you have to kind of like either
so I'm going to get you to pause that thought. We're going to be back at the top of the hour. We got to pay some bills. We're going to have a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Golden DJ Q.
This is Jamie Sparks, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is Jermaine Robbins, and you're listening to iLive, changing the way you listen to radio.
Yo, this is Kiana O'Quinn, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
This is Lavinia J from the UK, and you're listening to iLive Radio.
Hey, what's going on, everybody in cyberspace? This is the Groove Show with your boy, the crowd pleaser, DJ Mark Anthony. Don't forget, each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 p.m., we want to put you in the mood for whatever the night has in store. I'm playing only the best feel-good party rocking, body-shaking music from funk to soul to reggae to R&B, house to salsa, and much, much more. We call it The Groove each and every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked. It's the crowd pleaser, baby. You know how we do. We'll see you on the air. Peace.
Attention à tous les musiciens, groupes, associations, clubs et organisations qui représentent les styles collectifs de musique à travers le Canada. Le moment est venu de reconstruire nos genres de nations musicales collectives comme le hip-hop, le R&B, le jazz, le soul, le reggae, le gospel et plus unis. La Nation de la musique collective est une organisation à but non lucratif engagée dans le développement de la musique collective. Des adhésions gratuites sont disponibles dès maintenant. La Nation de la musique collective, une seule voix, la force dans l'unité.
Hey. Hello and welcome. It's your girl Claude, aka Miss Ouch, right here on iLive UK. Be sure to tune into my shows each and every Saturday between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. My shows are called The Independent Injection because you can expect to hear deep and meaningful, fresh neo and bassline soul, slow jams and gospel mixed with a little bit of nostalgia. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone for continuing to listen to iLiveRadio.com. We are here with myself, DJ Elegance, your host. This is the Music is Everything podcast. If you're just new to the podcast or just tuning in, we talk with individuals from the music, club, corporate, and wedding industry. Tonight we have with us Golden DJ Q. He's a DJ coach, a talent booker, and he's sharing a lot of tips on how you can stay relevant, what you should be doing during this time if you're a DJ or even a creative, really, and sharing with us his journey, his earliest influences. And I'm just wondering, we had to kind of end a little bit abruptly, but I was wondering if you can maybe pick up where we were just last left off, and that was kind of looking at how does one, or what should someone be doing right now, like to network and to remain relevant? What should they be doing?
Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate this so much, DJ Elegance. Networking always starts off with a group of people, and including with the people that you work with. As I was saying earlier before the commercial break, there's groups out there right now who are networking through different businesses, right? Like, let's say like gyms and stuff like that. You can name it. Any place that needs music, you can start networking through them, or you can network through DJs, right? Where you work with the people. If you like, every DJ has another DJ friend. Work with the people that you know, talk to them, and then see where it'll lead to. Because some things that some of the information that they might have might actually lead to like greater things, right? There's already been some networks who already kind of like predicted before, like some stuff might happen already, and they're already like well in advance prepared, right? We might have lost that shot or something like that, but it doesn't mean that there's nothing too late. Like right now, I'm networking on iLive Radio with this interview. Yes. If it wasn't for helping out my good buddy right here, DJ Elegance, with a few things that I would have not got this opportunity to sit here and have this interview for everyone else to listen to and have my name even out there even more. Mm-hmm. So this is just wonderful. So this is another form of networking, right? Like get interviewed or find someone to that shares the same talent and move together.
Right. No, I think those are amazing tips. I think that's definitely a thing that I've learned from yourself is kind of, I don't know, like just, yeah, like you said, like, I mean, just being around other DJs, and then there's like opportunities that come. And yep. I think it's something that I've shared like with my students through my academy as well, is that, you know, sometimes the best way to get a gig or a booking is just by being connected to other DJs, right? And yep. So if they need somebody, or if they need a guy to fill in, if you're available, because they know you, they trust you, and they know that you have a certain DJ style, like it may be a fit, or they may already know that, hey, this type of gig isn't for me, but boom, yeah. I have a guy that I know will totally kill this event. And I have a few guys that are like that, and it really helps me out when it comes to what I have fun doing, which is a lot more mobile, special event, weddings, those types of things, the corporates. I have some DJs that are they just want to stick to the club vibe and just kind of do their thing. They don't really want to be in a different environment. So I always appreciate those referrals.
And you know what? For the club DJs, mobile DJs, wedding DJs, school DJs, you know, like there's DJs who could do it all. I'm laughing because I'm one of them. And then there's DJs who specialize and can outclass anybody in that specialized term of performance, right? Like a club and stuff. Because in the club, you have to be beyond up to date. You have to be actually 10 steps ahead of people and introducing songs to people in a club, right?
Right.
And a mobile DJ is really about like your customer service and how you can sustain the dance floor consistently without no drops, right? Pretty much break the granny's leg. Right?
Funny.
And if you guys want a simple way onto network, and I tell this to my students and to well-advanced DJs, keep producing mixtapes. Right? The best form of networking is word of mouth. If you can say you're a DJ, but nobody can find your mixtape, how do we know that you DJ?
Right. No, I mean, it's I think it's a good reminder. Even for myself, I've been doing so many lives over the last 3-4 months, but I've not really uploaded a lot of that content. And I'm just saying to myself, now that my live event, I think from end of August to October, I had 4 weddings, and then now I have no live events from now till next year. And I'm kind of saying to myself, I need to get back on my mixtape grind a little bit, because I mean, you want to stay relevant, right? And you want to keep your sound fresh. And I mean, to all the DJs out there, or any creative, I mean, producing content, particularly if you're someone who plays music, letting people hear something that you have to offer is really important. I've gotten a lot of gigs just through people hearing my mixes, or them hearing my mixes really reconfirmed for them that I was the right person. And something that one DJ told me, DJ Mensa, he said, if you need to do an era-specific mix, I thought this was great advice. He said, you only have to do it once, because that era is like not coming out with new music again. So he's like, you just need like one 80s mix, one dope 90s mix, like one dope 2000 mix, like an old school reggae mix, like new school, whatever. Like, but for certain time periods, all you need is really one mix just to demonstrate that you can play that era or genre of music, and you're good to go. So,
you're absolutely good to go. And that's the best of it. And that leads down to like what I said earlier, that what is your favorite type of music that you like to listen to, right? Perform the music that you like. That's a specialty mix, right? Most times it's not even open format. Like DJ Player, he loves New Jack Swing, right? But there's other people who are really amazing at soca. Do a soca mix. Do a soca mix that that is a guaranteed to hit home. It might be a bit older, but nobody can change that, because that's your specialty way on how you see it should be played.
Right. No, that's awesome. Well, we're gonna getting down to the end of our time here. I have this one last section that I love to call. It's called Rapid Fire, and it's just sort of like a quick question period. And
okay, like 21 questions.
Yeah, like I don't want you to give like too much thought to it. You just kind of like I'm gonna say something, and it's almost like a one-word response back, right? Sort of, or just something that, just don't think too much about it, right? So here's the first question, is what would be the dream event to DJ for?
Oh, sorry, can you say that one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, no, what would be your dream event to DJ
Ibiza.
at, I guess, yeah. What would be your dream event?
Ibiza and Dubai.
Nice. What's one song that should be played loud, like ignorantly loud, with the windows down?
All right, from Feel So Close by Calvin Harris.
Okay, all right. One of your favorite all-time songs, like all-time.
Favorite.
Who?
Can I just do this year's for what my this year's summer pick is?
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I heard your previous choice. What was it?
It would have been Feel So Close.
Oh, okay.
Calvin Harris.
Nice, the same one. Okay.
Yeah,
so then
Calvin Harris is one of my favorite DJs. So yeah,
okay.
I really like that song more than you can ever imagine.
Okay. And then what about this year then? What would be
this year's summer song is Oh Yeah with Paul Supping and Diplo.
Okay.
It's called it's called Oh Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's memorizing. Go ahead. Next question.
All right. Your favorite food?
Curry chicken and curry goat.
Nice. And your favorite genre to play?
All. I can't think what. I'm sorry. It's all. It's all. And you've seen how I play even country music. It's all.
I know. No,
even little kids' music. You've seen how I did it. It's all. It's all. Favorite genre? I'll call it the Q style.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think like I said at the earlier beginning of the podcast, like having seen you play live and just knowing your vibe and personality and stuff, like you really do make DJing look fun, which I think, like I said, is a good reminder, because sometimes, I mean, people are looking at you, so it's like if you don't look like you're really enjoying yourself, then I think the crowd does pick up on it, and I think that a lot of DJs kind of small themselves up. They don't want to talk on the mic. They don't want to look at people. They just want to kind of have their head down and play and just hope that people have a good time. But I think from you and a lot of other DJs, I've learned how to kind of talk, impose your will a little bit, share your personality, smile, dance, like get people's arms up. And I think people really, they really do remember that extra energy and effort that you put into your craft, your performance as you're playing. Yep. And I've been in some situations where it seemed like the crowd didn't dance a lot, and actually I had to pull teeth almost the entire night to get them up. But for a lot of like,
the grave.
But
raising the grave, I called it.
Yeah, but it's exactly. And then after people were saying, hey, like people were like apologizing because they're like, you played amazing. Sorry, our crowd, they don't like to dance or whatever. But it kind of shows you that extra effort that you utilize to try to get people up having a good time, that they really appreciate it. So those are some things I think
they do.
Yeah.
Some people just can't dance. But, you get the best reviews from them. The only person you can't impress is the Karen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's just a social media trend. Any Karens out there is not directed towards you. It's just a social media trend, that HR one. But yeah, another question. I like these ones. Go ahead.
No, that's that's pretty much all I got, man. I'm just grateful that you were able to come on the pod and, you know, share some tips and, you know, your journey and where you've come and all that stuff. I guess I would want to ask you now, you know, before we I have a couple other last questions. What's next? Like, what's next for you?
Well, all my gigs got moved till next year. So right now, what's next? I'm just keeping relevant on the 3 shows I do in my house on Wednesdays. Right now, I'm doing it on Twitch. That's supported by Keysound Pro. Spotlight Thursday, which is on KeysoundPro.ca, and then the DJ Player Show, which is on Saturday. Which that one is no hold bar, fire flames. Yeah, so DJ _player at twitch.tv. That show is really off the wall. But what's next is the same thing. The same advice I get to everyone. You know, fix that library, utilize the time. And for me, the one thing that hasn't changed since I've been in COVID is my hotline for supporting DJs has became greater. So I've been getting a lot more calls. So I know that there are DJs out there who are working very, very hard to keep relevant and get their stuff in order. Mm-hmm. And they're making sure that all their equipment is going good, you know, like, because right now this is the time where you could change the oil in your equipment and make sure it's working proper. No more hiccups and, you know what I mean? No. Yeah, like that's what I'm doing right now. Like my phone calls it has become really, really, really large.
No, that's awesome. No, I know you're always super supportive that way. And it's hard to find. I mean, it's hard to find someone who would want to give you their time. And I know that there's been a lot of DJs that have been really helpful. Some I've had on the pod, some still to be on the pod. But yeah, I'm very appreciative, even in my own walk as a DJ, just some of the people that take that time and really tutor you, mentor you, share things with you. You've definitely been one of those foundational people for me and stuff like that, helping me out. There's been a number of other DJs that have been really helpful. I know I am DJ D Money most recently has really been helping me out in terms of really upgrading my Twitch stream. And he's helped me out with some equipment and some tutelage around how to get some settings in OBS going and stuff. So if you're a DJ out there, you know, there's guys that you can reach out to. There's myself, Golden DJ Q, if you're looking for some mentorship, some support, or being even just referred.
And that's on all social medias.
Pointed into a different direction, right? So there's some guys that you can reach out to. Yeah, so let's get your where people can follow you. Where can they find you if they want to reach out to you for some DJ coaching, just to get encouraged, inspired, or even just to follow you? Where can the listeners catch you?
So Golden DJ Q, every single social media, including Mixcloud, SoundCloud. If you type it on your podcast, you have for my Apple users, Apple Podcast, type in Golden DJ Q, all one word. If you have Google Play, all one word. I think there's still one more mix on Spotify, Golden DJ Q, all one word. And if you go to Google and type in Golden DJ Q, all one word, I am the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth page. I just made a 5th page, and I don't even understand the language that's on it. But I still have a 5th page.
Nice.
But yeah, Golden DJ Q is where you can find me and how you can contact me. And yeah, I'm really easy to talk to. So if you guys have a bit of a struggle or try to understand something, I'll help you in the best. But, you know, just give me a shout, you know?
Right. Awesome. Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. All the iLive listeners, we're just wrapping up our interview here with Golden DJ Q. And yeah, you can reach out to him on social media if you want to get some assistance, some support, some motivation. Brother, listen, like I said, I appreciate you being, I always tell people you need to have like 5 DJs in your Rolodex to be able to call if you're in like a jam. And I know that I've had some just needing clarity in terms of maybe a direction, an approach, in terms of handling certain things. And I've always appreciated you just giving me that ear, but also just being open and available, right? Because I know a lot of guys kind of, I'm with you, I'm there. Just hit me up anytime, and then you can never find them. So I'm super appreciative that you're always.
I'm here all
I know.
the time. Yeah.
I know.
I know.
I know.
You want to have in your phone.
I know.
I've got one emergency contact that you definitely want to keep in your phone, because I'm there, even though I can get religiously busy.
No, I mean, you're always willing
like
to.
An understatement.
You're always willing to take that time, right? And it's appreciated. So I thank you. And yes, if you're on Twitch, check out keysoundpro.ca. Check out at Golden DJ Q on his socials. The shows that he's hosting on Thursday, particularly Saturday, it's a wild ride, wild time. And I think it's the DJ Play Show is a great show in terms of if you're looking to level up your online game. I think there's a lot of things you can take from his show. He has green screening, different cool effects, emojis bouncing around. I know you go into like a cartoon version of yourself. You can text into the show. It's really interactive and really integrated, and I think it's a great approach. I think if you're looking to, like I said, level up your OBS game, open broadcast software, for those who are not aware, but it's a program that allows DJs to really enhance their online experience for the viewers watching on a variety of different platforms, where you can have the DJ, I don't know, overlaid over a car driving around in the city or on a boat, or fireworks going off in the background, all kinds of cool stuff. So I think
like
it's
Jay's on his yacht boat.
Yeah, like I think it's a good show to watch. But yeah, I want to thank you for coming on the podcast. And as they say, when this is all over, quote unquote, then I'd love to have you come in studio at some point, do another interview, chop it up, and then get you to throw down on the decks and stuff. So yeah.
Also, I Like Radio. Don't forget, listen for another mix with me and Mixmaster Caesar. I know you guys already heard one, but there's another one coming up, so tune in.
All right. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. The Music is Everything podcast with your host, DJ Elegance. I want to thank my guest, Golden DJ Q, for hopping on. From now till the top of the hour, yours truly, I'm going to be playing some music till 11. All right, let's go.
Woo!
DJ Elegance.
Some days I take your time for granted. You could be the star.
Music is Everything podcast. R&B vibes.
Secrets you ain't wanna. Trust is big for you. That's why I'm keeping it 100. Crazy wanna. Been coming, just keeps us apart, man. We should be starting to keep our promises. We could be promising. You say I'm closed off. Let's open up and take our clothes off. I don't want nothing in between us. Nothing there to stop the feeling. Nothing in between us. Got me thinking this might be love. Oh, yeah. Don't be sorry, just be careful, baby. You know my heart is fragile. Don't say that you don't really mean. I just couldn't handle. I love how it was when it was just me and you. They know the truth, so we gon' watch how we move. But nothing beats the feeling that you're giving me, even if it ain't forever. Ooh. shut the world on and take our clothes off.
Oh, nothing in between. Nothing there to stop the feeling. I don't want nothing else between us. Got me thinking this might be. She got humps in her bum, dunk in her trunk. Telling me not to say that when you wanna see me. Alright. My lips are sealed. Baby, you gotta put in work. Gotta put in work. If you want me to put you first, yeah, put the pussy on me what I deserve.
R&B flavor, let's go.
Pennies on the floor, we don't need clothes. Can I get a repeat of the show? Georgia Queens, in your sheets. Open and CV, ride it slow, go 9 to 5. But you put in work. I guess when I'm in that skirt, yeah. Ignore your phone, tell your friends, call back. When you leave to go home, turn around, come back. Sip sheets on the bed, I know you just got your hair done and it's late. Don't be scared, I'll get it redone, little babe, you know I'm paid. You come first, yeah. And that's with sex and life, whatever works, yeah. I rip your bra off, you rip off my shirt, yeah. You mine as soon as you step on my turf. I beat it like it's percussion. Come let me put in work. Dunk in a trunk. Back that up, pull up on it like beep beep. Girls, take it out. Go a little bit harder. Come with the lights up, even on the TV. Getting me started. Looking on your body. Telling me not to say that when you wanna see me. Baby, you gotta put in work.
DJ Elegance.
Wrecking the set.
R&B flavor, music is everything podcast. DJ Elegance, let's go.
You are now rocking with DJ Elegance.
I've been acting hella different lately, can you hear me? Can you my new number to my baby, can you hear me? Got too much security, none of them can't get near me. My mink be so furry, got them vultures trying to get me. Ooh, my be hella loud. Can you hear me? My be hella loud. Can you hear me? I throw it in the crowd. Can you hear me? My be hella loud. Can you hear me? Yo, you don't like me, but he respecting me, feel me? He don't wanna see me
mix that we wine with the Henny. Don't know why them people hating on me, they can't stand me. But can they have me? A couple Grammys, yeah. Talk that talk, cause I walk that walk. You better watch my shoes. They be following me wherever I go. But you must know I got the news. Bar boss with the paint job. 4 Giotto with the shoes. FCM with the six-pack. Baby daddy to your boo, yeah. I've been acting hella different lately, can you hear me? Can't get my new number to my baby, can you hear me? Got too much security, none of them can't get near me. My mink be so
Vibes, vibes, vibes.
My be hella loud, can you hear me? My be hella loud, can you hear me? I throw it in the crowd, can you hear me? My be hella loud, can you hear me?
Made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me right, baby, I'll give you everything. My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me right, baby, I'll give you everything. Talk to me, I need to hear you need me like I need you. Fall for me, I wanna know you feel how I feel for you, love. Before you, baby, I was numb, tryna pay by pulling up, speeding fast on the run, never wanna get caught up. Now you're the one that I'm calling, swore that I never forget. Don't think I'm just talking, I think I might go all in. No exceptions, girl, I need you. Like I'm out of my mind, cause I can't get enough. Only one that I give my time, cause I got us for ya. Might make an exception for ya, cause I've been feeling ya. Think I might be out of my mind, I think that you're the one. My last made me feel like I would never try again, but when I saw you, I felt something I never felt. Come closer, I'll give you all my love. If you treat me right, baby, I'll give you everything. My last made me feel like I would never try again,
Yes, yes.
but when I saw you, I felt something
Vibes, vibes.
When I'm in a bad mood,
DJ Elegance.
good to know I have you. You got this from your past that still ain't past you. But you're on my time. You're on my time now. And it passed through. Now that we finally got them out the way.
iLive Radio.
All bad decisions that I wanna make. I want your body in a million
R&B
ways.
flavor.
Nobody ever makes me feel the same when I'm with you. Watch it up nice and slow. From the back, ooh. I'm about to lose control. Cause you're my muse. Don't hold back, let it go.
Yes, yes.
Only you will let me know.
It's a vibe, it's a vibe. New and old, old and new.
Sprung off in the springtime. Got your free time. You don't need no me time. That's you and me time. We be getting so loud. That make my soul smile. That would make me so damn proud. Now lay your head down on a pillow. Turn the lights down real low. I want you to say my name. Close your eyes and let your feels go. Now you're getting real close. Baby, I am on the way. Now that I've got you.
More vibes, more flavor. Music is Everything podcast. DJ Elegance.
Come and get me wasted. This is what I want you to
That new John Legend.
Run it to me real quick. I be going stupid for that. Ooh, la, don't make me wait. I've been thinking about it all day. You know what I want. The second, the minute I'm home, it's ooh la. That's the only music that I wanna hear is ooh la.
Yes, yes, feel it. Vibes, vibes.
Spin it round, let it bounce up and down, think we found something. Smack it, flip it, rub it down to the sound of ooh la, ooh la, ooh la. You know I'm romantic. I'd cross the Atlantic for that ooh la. I wear my best tuxedo and you can undress me and we go ooh la. Don't make me wait. I've been thinking about it all day. You know what I want. The second, the minute I'm home is ooh la. That's the only music that I wanna hear is ooh la. Get a little louder, scream it in my ear, yeah. Spin it round, let it bounce up and down, think we found something. Smack it, flip it, rub it down to the sound of ooh la, ooh la, ooh la.
More music, more flavor.
DJ Elegance.
You're in the mix.
Sometimes I'm free, depending on my mood, on my attitude. Sometimes I wanna roll, or stay at home. Walk in contradiction, get some factual and fiction. A little crazy, little sexy, little cool. Little rough around the edges, but I keep it smooth. I'm always left to center, and it's right where I belong. I'm the random mind, and don't you hear in major songs? And I like that. I don't really give a f if I was just the only one who likes that. I never like to follow others around to chase the sun. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh
We live in the studio.
oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. I like that. I don't care what I look like, but I feel good. Better than amazing and better than I could. Told the whole world I'm the venom and the antidote. Take a different type of girl to keep the whole world afloat. 'Cause I'm crazy and I'm sexy and I'm cool. Little rough around the edges, but I keep it smooth. I'm always left to center and it's right where I belong. I'm the random mind and don't you hear in major songs, and I like that. I don't really give a f if I was just the only
We gotta get in some throwbacks.
I never like to follow others around to chase the sun. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my. Oh me, oh me, oh me, oh my.
Oh my God.
Not just for the meanwhile, for a long, long time. Better believe it. Whenever you're not in my presence, it feels like I'm missing my blessings, yeah. So I sleep through the daylight, stay awake all night. Till you're back again, oh yeah, yeah. You think I'm biased to my significant other. You hit it right on the head, only been missing my lover. Got a phone that takes my phone and it don't reply. The next day, boss, tell you why. Yeah, that medicine, yeah, myself. You make me complete. You're all that matters to me. Yeah, yeah. What's a king bed without a queen? There ain't no iron team. You make me complete. You're all that matters to me. Get the guys out the car, it won't drive. So I feel when you're not by my side. When I wake up in the morning, up under you and only you. Grateful for your existence. Faithful no matter the distance. You're the only girl I see. From the bottom of my heart, please believe. You're all that matters to me. Yeah, yeah. Ain't worried about nobody else. If it ain't you, I'm with myself.
I Love Radio, Music is Everything podcast.
You're all that matters to me. Yeah, yeah. What's a king bed without a queen? There ain't no iron team. You make me complete. You're all that matters to me.
It's all about music.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You're all that matters to me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. You're all that matters to me. My body is your party, baby. Nobody's invited but your baby. I can do it slow now. Tell me what you want. Baby, put your phone down. You should turn it off. 'Cause tonight is going down. Tell your boys it's going down. We in the zone now. Don't stop. You can't keep your hands on me. Just be right there. Run that body. I can't keep my hands off you. Your body is my party. I'm doing this little dance for you. You got me so excited. Now it's just me and you. Your body's my party. Let's get it started. Boy, you should know that your
Hey.
love is always on my mind. I'm not gonna fight it. I want it all the time. Boy, you should know that your love is always on my mind, and I can't deny it. I'm on you. I'm on you. I can't lie. I won't lie. It's amazing. My faces, the places you're taking me. Baby, take your time now. There's no need to rush. We can go another round if that's what you want. 'Cause tonight it's going down. Yeah, you know it's going down. We in the zone now. Don't stop. You can't keep your hands on me. Just be right there. Run my body. I can't keep my hands off you. Your body is my party. I'm doing this little dance for you. You got me so excited.
We just playing some vibes. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
We're together, now we're undone. Won't commit, so we choose to run away. Do we separate? Oh, don't wanna give it, so we both gave up. Can't take it back. It's too late. Reach the climax. I've fallen somehow. Feet off the ground. Love is the cloud that keeps raining down. Where are you now? When I need you around, I'm on my knees, but it seems we're going nowhere fast. We've reached a climax. We're she gon' shine. She don't expect nothing from no guy. She plays aggressive, but
Yes,
she
yes.
feels shy. But you never know her softer side by looking in her eyes. Knowing she can do for herself makes me wanna give her my wealth. Only kind of girl I want. Independent queen working for her throne. I love her 'cause she got her own. She got her own. I love her 'cause she got her own. She got her own. I love it when she says, I got it, I got it, I got it. I love it when she says, I got it, oh, I got it. Remix. I love her 'cause she got her own. She don't need mine, she's silly mine alone. There ain't nothing that's more sexy than a girl that want but don't need me. Lovely face, nice thick thighs, 'cause she got drive that matches my drive. Sexy thing, she's the fly, all while paying the bills on time. She don't look at me like Captain Save 'em. Gold digging, no, she don't do that. Now she look at me like inspiration. She wanna be complimenting my swag and everything she got. She worked for it, good life made for it. She take pride in saying that she paid for it. Only kind of girl I want. Independent queen working for her throne. I love her 'cause she got her own. She got her own.
I Live Radio, Music is Everything podcast. Banger to banger.
It's always hard to leave this private show. Let me see it, let me see it, take it off. Oh, let me see it, take it off. Oh, take it off. Let me see it, take it off. Take it off.
Hey, shout it, let me see you take it off. Shoot it up, back into me, pass it to me. Imagine hanging halfway off the mattress while your ass is moving. Up and down, back and forth, so ratchet when you supposed to be. Elated to the naked eye.
That thug R&B.
If only the masses could see your ass when it's in action, I swear. Manhandle you in public places, I make you take it right here. You got no idea. This girl with this pole right here, I'll beat it up, be grabbing hair, leave a handprints on your derriere. Yeah, now, can you just kiss it for me while I'm doing about 100 on the highway? Get it, slap it wet, get it big, girl, I bet you can finish before I pull up in the driveway. And this ain't no child play, it's grown man B.I. Girl, I'll say, I got your ass in the scope, ain't gotta be close, so that I can hit the pussy from a mile away.
Me, you know just what I'm on. It's always hard. This private show. Let me see it, let me see it, take it out.
With the basic shit in the scene, what your waist is, nail color, shoe size, what design is your favorite? Trick dollar, I please this.
Yes, yes.
You're in the mix.
Don't think, next day, feds got him. But I'm still here. You see, I'm still here. A lot of just came and went, but at least you know that it's real here. Fly you down to where the heat go, lay you out to where the beach go. Jet ski, Paris.
One of my favorite old school tracks. That thug R&B.
But I can show you better.
I Live Radio. Come on.
I gotta get to know you better.
Tell me what's your name. Tell me what's your sign.
Oh my God.
Tell me what you like. If you was rich tomorrow, tell me what would you do with it? And if you could see the future, baby, do you see me in it? Would you date me for a minute, girl, before you let me hit it? Are you single? Are you taking? Working towards your education? I'm just asking, I'm just saying. What's your current situation? Cause I see you across the room and you the baddest in the building. What's up? See, I don't wanna get into your drawers yet. Are you one of them girls that's asking where the bread's at? See, first I need to smoker or a drinker? Are you none of the above? Are you more domesticated? Do you love to hit the club? Tell me, do you like to or do you just like making love? Tell me, do you have some kids? And if so, girl, how many? And if not, then Charlie, tell me, can I be your baby daddy? I'm just playing unless you let me. I won't know unless you tell me. I just gotta ask, 'cause girl, you super bad. What's up? See, I don't wanna get into your drawers yet. Are you one of them girls that's asking where the bread's at? See, first I need to know where your head at. Before you give me some. I'm playing.
That's Thug R&B. DJ Elegance. iLive Radio. Hennessy. We're gonna squeeze out a little more. Here we go. Yes, yes.
Run to get lost. Tell my bitch to let her head up. What does it cost? Tell me, baby, if you found that life right now. Hope it ain't so.
We going new to old, old to new.
I can put you in the Mile High Club. What's up? Let's take a trip. Have you ever read The World Is Yours? On a blimp. Tell her be free, baby, spread your wings. Get your legs in the sky like a plane. Let me guide that, I'm the pilot. Can't nobody see you 30,000 feet on your knees. And them products make the freaky come up out of. Get high, baby, roll on. Cloud 9 about to go up. Loving the feeling, the turbulence, girl, when we turn up. When we land, we can roll out. Show you something you ain't know about. Tonight we be taking off like with the camera to show out. I got you in the air, your body in the air. How I feel up here. You can scream as loud as you want, loud as you can. Ain't nobody gon' hear. Would you like it better if I hit the West Coast? Tell me, baby, if you found that life right now. Hope it ain't tall. I could put you in the Mile High Club. What's up? Let's take a trip. Have you ever read The World Is Yours? On a blimp. I know this song, what a song.
The song you bud.
Wicked. in pain. Wanna put 10 shots in my brain. I've been tripping about some things can't change. Switch at the same time, Montaigne, put you this in bag, get a phone call. Girl, that get well from killer so. That was this summer in nobody, yo. And ever since then, when I hate myself, when I'm finna off it, pessimistic. All wanna see me when nobody pissing. All been decided by the grave I'm digging. Have a conversation about my hate decisions. All can sickening. At the same time, memories surface through the grapevine. But my uncle playing with a slip knot. Put some out of stress, got me all up in the same. But since a couple months, they had same locked up. I'll be feeling pain just to hold on. I don't feel the same. I'm so alone. I'll be feeling pain. I'll be feeling pain just to hold on. I don't feel the same. I'm so alone.
Classic R&B flavor, Canadian content division. We gonna keep it sexy. I want to thank everyone on the iLive Radio community, everyone on Mixcloud, Twitch, Feeling the Heat on Facebook, and of course everyone else on iLiveRadio.com. This is how we get down on the Music is Everything podcast. Thug R&B. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. The Music is Everything podcast with your host, DJ Elegance. I want to thank my guest tonight on the pod, Golden DJ Q, sharing all his wisdom, his tips, being a talent booker, as well as a DJ coach. Listen, I appreciate all the energy from each and every one of you, each and every week, for tuning in, all the DJs, all the music enthusiasts, everybody who comes on. Next week, we're going to have a trending rising star, Afrobeat star, Slim Flex. He's going to be on the pod next week. And then we have some real special plans.